as you look forward to the next steps, I mean, how many days do you think it's going to be before you actually start thinking about next year?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I just I want to run away and hide for a few days. I want to go camping and just sit in the tent and suck my thumb, and eat ice cream. Is that the weirdest answer you guys have ever had right there?
That's what Torrey had to say at the end of last year's World Series loss. And I don't know if that's where he is now on this. I hadn't heard any post game or anything like that. But, and I don't necessarily want to say that that's where I am on this. But maybe you're a Diamondback fan out there right now, and that might be how you feel. But it's crazy, how, this sport of baseball, how it all goes down. That the old saying goes, you win 60, you lose 60, and the other 60 is what you could make or break you. And obviously, it's you add all that up, it's more than the total games played. But just for simple explanation purposes, that's what they say. So it's all depending on what you do with those close games. And in this case, both the Braves and the Mets had the tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks, and they had the doubleheader earlier today, and either team, it doesn't matter which, could have swept the other, and the Diamondbacks would have been in. Excuse me. And that's the only way it would have and could have happened for this scenario. And it's a very difficult thing to do to sweep a doubleheader. I think it's harder to sweep a doubleheader than it is a 3-game set. And because there's just so many factors, and I have to think that either team were like, thinking going into this, they're rivals, they're divisional opponents, so they want to beat each other. But I think at the end of the day, they're like, you know what, we're fine with a split. We're both in. This game, is important for a 3-way tie for the last 2 wild card spots, as the Padres already claimed theirs, and it just didn't happen for the Diamondbacks this year, and it sucks. It hurts because they were better record-wise this year versus last year, but last year was just so magical, and I'll never ever forget it. Never ever forget it. And because of that, there was so much expectation on the Diamondbacks this year. But also because of that, we weren't going to be sneaking up on anybody. Everybody was taking the Diamondbacks very, very seriously. And that's not to say that they didn't take the Diamondbacks seriously last year, but there's a target on your back as the National League defending champions for the Major League Baseball. And so that adds so much to it. So where do we go from here? There's no telling. There's no telling what will happen. Christian Walker is a big question mark. Do you go with Pavin Smith, the younger arm, and really the versatile player? Maybe you do. I don't know. But there is some question marks. I know for me, I'm ready and geared up for the Phoenix Suns, which will be tipping off within the next couple of weeks. So new coach Mike Budenholzer, I'm excited about him. I don't really know what to expect. We're a couple years removed from that magical 2021 season, and I'm kind of, maybe what a couple other fans might be thinking is like, my goodness, that was just so much fun. And how do we get back there? Will we ever get back there again? Was life better with the twins, Cam Johnson and Mikael Bridges? It's just really hard to really put in perspective those guys. I know for me, I felt more connected to the Suns than I am right now, and I think that's also why it was such a gut punch losing in those finals, and then going back to the Diamondbacks losing last year, is because no one expected the Diamondbacks to do it, and you were really, really connected. And I still feel that way about these Diamondbacks, but I don't quite necessarily feel that way about these Suns. We'll see. I think it will be special for the hometown the hometown coach to come to Arizona and play for the team that he rooted for, the team that he felt connection with, to guys like Al McCoy, and God rest his soul. It's been a privilege for all of us to sit under someone like Al McCoy and hear him call games, and so we'll certainly miss him. And it stings that there wasn't a championship won in 51 years of Al McCoy calling games, and so that stinks. But Mike is listen to him just like all of us, and so there's just so much unknown. How good will Kevin Durant be? What will the lineup look like? There's just so much unknown, and it's hard to be super excited, but I think that's where my focus is going right now, as a fan and as someone that talks about these three franchise sports. My goodness, an embarrassing loss for the Cardinals, and so I guess I'm putting a lot of my hope and my trust into the Phoenix Suns, and it's still a big question mark. So, but let me know what you think. How are you feeling about this Diamondbacks loss, about this upcoming Sun season? You can talk about the Cardinals if you wish, but it's just so much unknown with both the Diamondbacks and the Suns. But I look forward to both. And you can let me know if you are like Tori and just want to eat some ice cream in a tent somewhere up in the mountains.